Okay, so it's 7 in the morning. Man, I keep thinking like there's something there, but I guess so. It's weird. But I do have like, I don't know, something scratched me on the face. I run into these fucking trees and shit all the time. I feel like the trees are grabbing me. I feel like they grab my hair when I walk by and stuff, but I've been slapped in the face. And so now I've got this big, I don't know, like a scratch on my face. It's been there, but it starts like really, when I'm getting a suntan, it starts really showing up. And yesterday I was like, this weird storm started coming in. It was so weird. It was thundering and my own hair in my mouth. And then this weird big darkness started moving. So it was two different skies. And anyway, so we were talking about the weather and stuff. And it's supposed to be 80 this week. And I keep being like, geez, it's going to be 125 all summer. And my mom's like, no, no. I'm like, it definitely is going to be. It's like, it's only April. And like I already have a summertime tan and it's only April. Like it's mental. Like the summer hasn't even started yet. We got May where it starts getting warm. Well, it's already warm. June, July, August, and September. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be a hot one for sure. And okay, because there's a couple of things. Even though I feel like, man, what am I even gonna talk about? It's like 7 o'clock. I feel so out of it. I feel so off. Just I was conked out. Man, I was out. Stella woke me up once or twice, and I just conked right back out. And then the last time they woke me up, and it wasn't even Max. He was still out here laying when I came out here, which was like weird. And but Stella made some kind of crying or something, and when I opened my eyes, I was like, oh my God, it's light out. What the hell? And so that is like made me feel weird because usually when I get up, it's still dark. And so then it's like, I don't know, it makes you start feeling like, am I running late? What am I doing? What's going on? I don't know. And my mind starts going all over the place. But, so anyways, now I feel like, weird. I don't know. I feel weird. And I feel like, well, do I even have anything to talk about? Yeah, shit is weird. It's weird as fuck. People, people who I know of, their lives are falling apart. And everybody's got to remember when your life is falling apart, it's to get you to notice things, to notice things. And it's so much about this making changes and going in a new direction in your life and looking at things different. And when you're being pushed away from something, it's because it's done. That era, that period of time is over. It's done. And then you're moving into a next one. And that's the thing that gets me is about how what is that? How time is so, it's just this little window. Like you think you're in like this, like being in this situation. I could sit here and whine and cry and feel sorry for myself and everything. This one cricket over here has just been going wild. I'm telling you, they watch you. And then when I walk over there, he stops. If the dog walks over there, he stops. If we're walking around or anything, you get too close, he stops. If you look over at him, he stops. I went over there and was looking, I couldn't find him. He's got to be over there somewhere. But it's weird because I was thinking, is he going to stop when I start doing this? But I can still hear some other ones. They talk to each other, but he was doing that really loud thing, whatever they do. But now that I'm talking, he stops. It's like, what in the Mad Hatter shit is going on, man? That like they were awfully conscious of their surroundings, like paying attention to me, watching me. Like there's a lot of stuff in here, and I don't know. Maybe it just seems very obvious that yeah, of course they're gonna watch you, but I don't know. It just seems weird how they just get so quiet and then you start doing something else. They go loud again. You walk, turn, and look, and they get quiet again. It's very strange. So now I'm curious to see if he's going to start chattering over there. And since he's over there, I'm kind of thinking, is he going to start going up the stairs? That'd be perfect if I can catch him on the stairs, grab him, and put him back outside. But he's a loud one, and I can still hear him. Last night when I went to bed, it wasn't as bad, or I don't know. I think when you start programming yourself, it won't feel as bad. I just start telling myself, like, it's a high-pitched frequency that is good for healing, it's natural, and all that stuff. So then it doesn't grate on your nerves as much. It's just kind of like, oh. So now I keep noticing. And, oh, yesterday, too. And it's weird because I feel like it's coming through this window, which, no, a frequency doesn't have to go through the window. Doesn't need an open door. So, but it felt like it's coming from this direction, which I know their tower would be that direction. So I don't know where it's coming from, but you know, I'll just be sitting there and all of a sudden this like high-pitched, shrieking, fucking loud thing will come in, and it doesn't sound like you just hear it. It comes in like it's a fucking weapon. It hits into you. It's so freaking loud. And I'm just always like, how does everybody not hear this? This is so weird. Such loud, high-pitched frequencies happening, and they're intense. Like, they come in, like, hardcore. I don't know what else to say. Like I said, I feel super out of it. So, I was, slept so much last night, which it could have been, you know, was it the night before where I didn't get any sleep, or was that the night before the night? I don't even know. They all just blend in. Yesterday, I was the same thing. If I sat down, I was falling asleep. Like, it's just like, do I have narcolepsy? Are they spraying us with something that's knocking me out? So weirdest thing. I sit down and I'm just like, I'm out. And then I wake up and it's like, oh my God. And then start doing stuff, go sit down, I'm out. It's just like, what in the holy hell is going on? I just can't stay awake. And then last night, I go into bed like at 8, and then got up at 6:30. And so, like, geez, man, for sleeping so much during the day. But that also destroys the theory the other day when I couldn't sleep. Oh, well, maybe I slept too much in the day. I don't think so. It feels way more like you're just like drugged. Like I just feel like so tired. And I would assume it's just got to be the energy on the planet. It's just very intense and draining, is what. God, Jesus. I was even thinking, what was it? Something came to my mind. Something about like, I can't remember. Maybe I'm putting myself to sleep through some of this intensity that's going on. I don't know. My God. This clearing the throat thing is irritating. And the not coughing is still going on. So I'm just like, still trips me out, especially every time I start choking on something and I start coughing and no cough comes. And it's just like, oh my God, in my throat, it will get so, feels so much harsher. Because when I would cough before, and like you're choking and you cough and snot would come up out of my lungs and it would go in my throat, it would coat my throat and it would feel better. And so now it is like nothing comes. It's like no lubrication to my throat or something. I'll be like choking. It's like, oh my God, this is so dry. So dry and rough. Sometimes I feel like I'm trying to merge two words together. So anyways, I was hearing some stuff yesterday of some stuff going on in people's lives. It's just like, oh my God, there's no getting away from this shit. Like, it's going to affect everybody, and it's going to affect them in ways that they don't see coming. And everything is shifting, and it's so much about, you know, you have to get comfortable. So like I said, like you have a window of time. And so like this window period of time, it has its set time. There's a set parameter on this period of time. And if you took my entire life journey, so if you took Kelly Hart's life journey and you laid it out on the table, there would be segments. It would be like like a segmented thing. So in this segment, this was going on. In this segment, this was going on. In this one, this. And so it's just those periods of time. And then so many people, I think, when one period ends, then they get really caught up in, like, I don't know, like, what did I do? Why is this ending or something like that? But everything is meant to be temporary. Nothing is meant to just be permanent and just stay the same. You're meant to go through different weather patterns, different challenges, and each thing has like its own little story. It's like chapters in a book. That's how I used to look at it when I was a kid. Like, this is a chapter in a book, then the next experience is another chapter in the book, and this person's in this chapter. Like, you have these chapters of your life. And so they all are connected, kind of, yeah, like I'm seeing like a worm in their little segments of each little segment, but it all makes up as one worm. And so your life has all these little segments, and even your life as a whole is just a segment. It's just a window of time. And it's just so trippy how they try and get us to count it and to measure it and to register how it works and stuff. It's like, no, you just have a window of time. What is meant to happen to you is going to happen to you. It's all laid out. It's all set for you. You enter into the game. Like, I've seen it kind of like a game, and entering in, it is like kind of like an avatar is created, and it has its own little thing it's going to play, and that is what you are. You are this little thing that's going to play out this experience, and you have this much time to experience this experience. And every experience that comes to you is already set for you. You're not getting up and designing it and making it happen. It's always set. And so everyone you meet, every experience, it all is part of it. And at the end of your window of time, when you've completed this, when you've gone from one end to the next, then it ends. It's done. And that's when you leave. And in the drama of the storylines, it's dramatic. We leave in dramatic ways, but it helps to continue the game. And so we leave in dramatic ways. But see, this is something that I think is going to be changing. Like, for one thing, I don't think we're going to be leaving all the time. Death is going to be ending. And which one of my kids did just tell me, RFK. And I was like, what? Why? Because I just heard him last night right before I went to bed. And it was like, he's going to prove that the autism is by something they're doing to us with the chemicals and stuff. And so they were talking about that, and they said it is weird because he's being so attacked. Like, people don't want to know. Like, keep it to yourself, buddy. We don't care. We just get sicker and sicker. We don't care who's making us sick. I was like, what the fuck? What? And so everybody's mad at him for trying to prove this. And then I guess, I don't know if they're saying stuff like, well, he has no business in it or whatever. So they said it was hiring 15 labs, or like 15 scientists in each lab or something. They've got a whole bunch of labs and a whole bunch of scientists. Then they're going to go in and they're going to go through all the data, all the poison. What does this cause? What does that cause? They're going to do it. It's not just him doing it. It's like the same thing as like Doge is going, like this group of people are going in to find the misspending. And it's so weird how these people hate him. That's why I was like, the people who are living in the dark can't see the good stuff. Like, this guy's proving that the misspending, the illegal activity going on with this corporation or these government, this whole laundry problem and stuff, and how they just steal money from us, and how they just put it in absurd shit so they can go buy their own shit. And so he's proven that. The other guy's trying to prove, like, why everybody's getting so sick with all of this stuff. Because there's a lot of sicknesses. There's autoimmune, there's cancer, there's autism, there's so much stuff. And we're being affected by our environment. And the people affecting our environment are criminals. And so, yeah, we want to know. We want justice. It's like, but do you have these people fighting against that? It's like, I asked my daughter, I said, I don't, what is it you don't like? Like, it makes no sense to me. But it is something in their media, how they twist it and make it sound different than what it is. But it's like, Jesus Christ, it's so weird. Everything is so upside down. Like, man, if you're somebody who's had to deal with sickness and stuff, you want, especially like to me, I have been out here for fucking years, sounding like some kind of fruitcake, telling everybody, well, the reason you're sick is the poisons. Well, the reason you're sick is because of the chemicals. Well, it's chemicals. Get rid of the chemicals. It's toxins. Man, everybody's just like, oh, yeah, right. Okay, crazy. Go shut it down, crazy girl. Go somewhere else. Talk about your crazy shit. It's like, what? Like, this is not crazy. It seems like basic math to me. It's like, how can you not, how can we, how can you breathe in, eat, and consume this many chemicals and think like that's not causing you the problems? That just makes no sense to me. It's the weirdest shit. So, anyways, I bet everybody has this different, it's like different states of consciousness. It's just like what Crystal was saying, like, to the moon. It's like, fuck, all my life, I don't ever remember the moon just disappearing for a couple days every month. And she said she didn't even realize that there was a full moon once a month. She thought it was just a random occurrence. And I remember being really young and not being super sure about how the moon cycle, like there's a full moon, like, and yeah, I didn't remember. That took me a long time to realize, like, oh, it's up these cycles and stuff. So, anyways, it comes from that state of it's confirmation. Here, state of confirmation. Was that state of confirmation? No, I just said confirmation. The state of what the hell? A state of consciousness. It's how what you're paying attention to. And when you pay attention to something, then you can see it more. But I think that is a big thing, is in this state of the media manipulation, is that it's like they make like little key phrases. They make something to draw your mind on that and focus on that, so you don't see this. You don't question it, you don't think about it. So they keep your mind busy over here, but they don't give you the whole story. And so, but you keep thinking, this is what they've said, and you keep yourself busy on that. So you don't open your mind and look at it in a more open space so that you can see for yourself. And so it's just like all of these people who think that they're living in a limitation. They're not looking at it for themselves, because who could look at this stuff and think, oh no, we don't want the guy who's telling us about the misspending. We don't want the guy who's telling us we're being poisoned. We don't want those people around. It's like, what? There's some of us who've been dying to get somebody like that in there. Get everybody else to realize. But they just, so many people fight against it. It's so weird. But, and people are so caught up, man, in their diagnoses and medications and stuff like that. It's just like so wacky. Like gives them purpose in their life. Well, you got a way bigger purpose than just what medications you've been taking and what diagnosis and all the problems you've had to overcome. And it is so much more of it's like your problems are a burden when you are in them. It's just like the sand keeps coming in and burying you. But all of a sudden you realize, oh, I can stand up and then I'm above the sand. Once you make this action where you take action in your own life for what it is that you want, everything starts changing. So you're not being drowned by the sands of time. Instead, you realize, like, you can stand up, you can see above that, you can look around, and you can make decisions for yourself. But it takes a lot to get there. That's why we have this whole big awakening thing. And the awakening isn't just a realization like, oh, I'm asleep. No, there's a reason you are. There's like these things that are holding you. It's like a trap. It's like these chains that bind you. It's like programs you're running. And so it's more complex. Once you realize like you've been out, that's when you start questioning things and start looking at, well, what do I really think about this? Well, what do I really want to do? Well, what do I really feel? And so that's when you can go in deeper to yourself, but you have to recognize the necessity for it. And they have the world mostly just all laying down, being drowned as the sand pours in on them. And so the awakening part is more like all the people all of a sudden stand up. And it's kind of like it's going to be pushed by the fact that there will be no air to breathe unless you stand up. It's going to become harder and harder and harder to continue with your same storylines. Things are going to keep pushing you to think outside the box, to do things different, to challenge yourself. And the awakening thing is a huge challenge because you have to face all of these ways that you look at things. And you have to face the things of like, yeah, well, I didn't even know that how the moon cycles worked. And then other people could be like, oh, well, I've always known how the moon cycles work. Well, who cares? Who cares? Good for you. That was something you were interested in. That was something you paid focus on. Well, some of us were paying focus on trying to survive, you know? So, you know, you don't have to feel bad because somebody else noticed some things. There was lots of fucking shit that I did not know as an adult that a lot of adults knew. And, you know, I mean, part of it made me feel kind of childish and ignorant, you know, to not know some of these things. But it's like, well, you know, I had problems growing up when my parents were teenagers. And so, well, my dad wasn't, he was 20. When I was born, but my mom was 16. And so, you know, they're just getting started in there. They don't know everything to teach you. And so, but that is where there's going to be big changes. I think there's going to be big changes happening. I don't know how it's all going to go down. Like he's paying, you know, he's going to offer people to pay them to have kids or whatever. Like, I don't know if we're going to go through that kind of shit too. But I know where we're going to get to is it's going to be a lot more self-motivated, not doing things, and a lot more thoughtful, like on having kids and stuff. I for sure think that the wave of so many people not rushing in to have kids is going to be a wave that is going to continue. People are going to become a lot more thoughtful over bringing another person into their life because they're going to take it a lot more serious. There's such a huge thing in our world where people have lots of kids, and then they don't feel that they need to raise them. They think it seems perfectly normal. Just send your kid to school, go to work, come home, eat dinner, go to bed. Send your kid to school, go to work, come home, eat dinner, go to bed. Some people don't even make the dinner and just grab it on the way home. And so, and there's a thing that is coming out now that they're saying neurodivergent is really neuroinflammation. And so, see, that's what you want. That's the RFK, and they're figuring this shit out. We want to know what is causing us problems, why there's so much brain fog, why there's so much dementia. Dementia is fucking huge now, and all that. And so to realize, well, it's all these toxins and stuff, you keep consuming them until you realize it. And so that gives you opportunity to make changes and to start seeing, you know, that you don't really have this brain fog. It was just you were overrun with chemicals. Your kidneys, your liver couldn't process them all. You had to clear it all out, clean the system. Kind of like how your car needs to have the oil changed sometimes. Like it needs to just go in and get everything dumped out and get it all cleaned up. And so that is kind of like what we're going to be going through. We need to just dump it all and clean it up and get all the toxins out so that we can start running better. And there's just so many people who are just so burdened by the sicknesses and stuff. And it's really trippy is, like, I don't know how many people who have gotten these are putting it together with their sickness and the loss of life that's going on around us and stuff. Like, I don't know, you know, because if they were, then you could also be thinking, like, how scary that would be for them. So maybe that comes all at this big, you know, as whatever the show is going, RFK is going to bring it in. It's going to be, like, the big thing. It's going to be, because it's going to be the truth. And so it's going to be, you know, center stage. And then people will be more directed towards, you need to fucking get the toxins out of you. But it seems so clear. Like, it seems so weird that people have to be told. But anyways, you got to clean out your filter system, because you have filters to your body and they get clogged up and you get sick. They're attacking your metabolic, they're attacking your hormones, all that. I don't remember if I told, oh yeah, I did, about the girl with the blood clots and stuff. And then in the comments, everybody, I couldn't believe how many people like had the same thing. All these people with pulmonary embolisms caused by the birth control. It's like, you'd think they'd pull that shit off the market, especially when you go in and read one motherfucking video's comments and you got this many people. It's like, you know, they're obviously not here to protect us. It's perfectly fine. That's acceptable. That there's another thing too that I'd heard yesterday about a medication. And it was just like, well, they just let, you know, all these people die from it. And just keep it on the shelves. It's good. Yeah, we can get more of them taking it. It's like, but that's the thing, is they keep so many people running on the treadmill that they don't pay attention to what's going on with other people. There's so many people, when I have said, like, listening to people's testimonials, and they think that's the weirdest shit. They're probably lying. It's like, well, okay, maybe they are. But then when you hear 20 of them, so are all of them, you know, all the people, when they're all saying the same story. But there's also, so I just saw this girl, and she's an actress, and so she went on an audition thing, and so she said that they're auditioning for fake accounts. So she said, when you see videos in there doing a whole thing, she said it's probably fake, that it's, so she said how it works is, so they pull you in and then they give you this part. And so your part is like reality TV TikToks, I guess. And so you have a different name and stuff. Like, you don't keep your name. And they give you a storyline. And then they have other characters that play in your storyline. So in your videos, these people show up and stuff like that. And so they try and make it all seem like it's all legit. And if anybody, she said, if anybody asks you if you're this person, you're supposed to deny it. No, that's not me. No, that's not me. But they set up this whole storyline, this whole thing. And so she said they're making fake videos that aren't real. So she said, you got to watch out. And that's the ones where I feel like, you know, when they're showing like ICE arrest or crazy shit like that. But there was a crazy video I just saw. And this was, so in San Diego, these people were in a hotel room and they see something huge flying around, so they start videotaping it, and you can hear them in the room, and they're like, oh my God, that's a dragon. Look at that thing. Come, somebody tell me what the hell this is. Look, it's got this long tail. Look how huge it is. So it's just flying all around over the top of San Diego, just flying and flying, and you could see it, unless it's AI, unless it's all fake. But there's been a bunch of these kind of videos. There was, I think, over by Japan. They said that they had dragons flying around. I mean, all this stuff is real. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. You know, we're definitely going to be merging into this other world. And so the other worlds are coming into our world. And so, yeah, I mean, there can be dragons. I don't know for sure if this is, or if it's fake video and that's AI or whatever. But there's going to be more and more of this kind of stuff being witnessed. And there was the one with a car where something went to the bathroom all over a car, and it was huge. It was like bird, but it was like, what in the world, bird? Like, what is it, a whole flock all released it at the same time on your car? Like, it was wacky looking. So there's going to keep being shapeshifters and all sorts of stuff out around. I mean, everything is changing. And the way the sky was looking yesterday, and the way it was like merging, it looked like 3 different skies again coming in together. And so I don't know. It's like all these worlds merging. And I saw this guy. So I think he said he talks about revelations. And so I don't know if he's super religious and only looks at it through religion through what's happening on the planet. But so he was saying, I think Euphrates River or something. And he was talking about the giants. He was talking about Tartaria. And that he was saying that the people were trying to protect themselves from the giants. And that the giants are coming back now. And that they are going to dry up the Euphrates. They're going to come out. And then they're going to start going after us. And so I don't know. And he said there was two of them. And they're called Mag and Ag or something. And I don't know. I don't even know all these stories. I don't know all these Bible stories and stuff. But I do know that, you know, if there starts being giants, it doesn't need to be something that you'd be scared. Like even dragons. Like, I don't know if these dragons are going to be ones that are going to, because everything is going into this higher vibration. It's going into an appreciation. So you could think of like, well, they had already reached that point of being able to be in that vibration. Humans, like, we're ready to battle it out, to fight, to kill somebody who doesn't agree with you. I don't know what that's all about. And so we seem like we are the ones trying to raise our vibration. And then when you start thinking about, like, why do I do this? Why am I going to fight them on this? Why? Then that's when you could start looking at yourself and seeing your own biases, the stuff you're holding on to, the untruths. That's the thing. So many of these people are holding on to lies and they think it's the truth. And that's why everything is going to flip and show everybody. Like, the truth is coming out. Like, there will be no denying it. And all the people who've been denying it all along are going to feel like a gut punch. They're going to feel like, oh my God, it's going to feel, to them, I feel like it's going to feel like a humiliation. It's going to feel real embarrassing that they were lost in the matrix. Like, but there's going to be so many people, but in their own internal, they're going to feel bad about themselves. And so that's why I say, you know, going around telling everybody, I told you, and stuff is going to be just like kicking somebody when they're down. It's like people are going to be down even if they're not showing it, because they're not comfortable enough to show their truth anymore, or yet, because that is also something that will be evolving, is people will become more into their truth. But in that part right there, see, that's where you have to face your weakness, your ignorance, your stupidity, your biases, and all that stuff. So that has to occur. And so that bitch slap from the universe of like, oh, this is the way you were going, huh? How's that working? And so where everybody's all of a sudden going to see, and then they're going to see more, and it's just going to be, that's the awakening thing. That's the suddenly seeing. But it's also, it's like I've said so many times, it's not going to be just like happy days for everybody. It's going to feel like very intense. And so those of us who can or did see, it isn't the time to go around and trying to, you know, make everybody feel bad about themselves, because they're already going to feel bad about themselves. And then we're going to go through, there's going to be lots of people taking themselves out over it because it's just too much. And it's so weird, though, when you reduce this world into a game, and you see, then you can see, like, well, if you're going to take yourself out over something like that, then you're taking it a little too serious. Like, you got to go more with the flow. Why can you not see that you've got weak sides, you got ignorant sides, you got stupid parts of you? Why can you not see that? That's why I say you got to be learning to love yourself, is accepting yourself for being not perfect. People are too caught up expecting that they have to be perfect. It's like, this is a motherfucking game, man. Like, it's like when you're playing Monopoly with somebody who takes it too serious, and they get real fucking, how much money do you have? No, that's not worth that money. They get all intense about it. But that's what we have, those personalities in this game, where it's like, you know, that's why I say you gotta not take this so serious. You gotta see it as it's a game, it's a movie. It's like something you came in here to play this part. You're supposed to have a little bit of fun with it. It's not supposed to be such a burden. And, you know, and the Easter eggs are hidden of your own ignorance and your own blind sides. They aren't to punish you. It's like a part of the game. It's like just The biggest thing is when you start seeing them is to heal them. Do things different. Look at yourself deeper. Look at yourself with love and kindness. My daughter was having some issues yesterday and some kind of pain or something. And she starts telling me, and I had just seen this video with this girl talking about all the blood clots and stuff. And I was like, well, maybe you have that. I don't know. Go to the ER. And she said, well, I don't think it's that. I'm like, well, I don't know. And so she was telling me or whatever. And, but she was being confused. And so she's asking me, and sometimes I get asked because I have medical background. But the thing is that it's like, you have to ask yourself. You have to go in and ask yourself. This is what meditation, reflection is all about. You don't know what's going on with you, so you ask yourself. I said, you got to talk to your body. Like if you're having a conversation with somebody, you got to ask your body, what are you trying to show me? What is it you want me to see? Confirmation. Because I said, you have to, when your body's doing, I can tell you a lot of different things. I can tell you that when your body is shutting down like that, it's for a reason. You're pushing it too far in one way, and it's trying to show you something, so it will close down, and you have to take a rest. You have to take a break, and in that break is when you communicate with yourself. So it's trying to tell you something, and it's trying to shut you down so you will fucking listen. And so and they said it can be trying to tell you things like your back can be hurting because you're not standing up for yourself. It can be your things like that. And so that's why you can get a productive way by going and taking the time to yourself and asking yourself. And then though, you have to see it. You have to see like, oh yeah, I'm not standing up for myself. Oh, I am just like doing this and doing that, and I'm doing things I don't want to do. And then that's where you got to be like, oh, so why am I doing that? Why am I doing things that I don't want to do this? Why am I doing it? What am I trying to get from it? Who am I trying to please? Am I trying to get them to, when you can look at yourself more thoroughly, then you can see yourself more clearly. And then you can be more determined in your actions. You can be more forthright. You can be more, doing what you want to do. So, God, I'm itchy. I don't know, you guys probably have seen, like, I just keep itching and itching. All these little, in this place back here where it felt like something bit me, it's still there. And I'm still, freaked out about, like, I lay my sweater down. I kind of wear it when I go to bed. I set it down on the chair, and I get up in the morning, shake it out. But it's like, man, is there something gripping on? And then you put it on, and it bites you, and then it drops off. So definitely spiders starting to be, and then these freaking crickets. See, he's still being quiet. It's so weird. It's so weird, and it's so weird how high-pitched it is. And how I can hear, I don't know. Like, I still don't know if you guys can hear it on here, or if it's just me. And that's where you start being like, man, am I in my own little world? Which that is what it can feel like so many times. Man, I have felt like I'm in my own little world so much through this stuff. So weird. But anyways, when you are having something and your body is, closing, like you're suddenly, you can't, like she said, she went for a run and she came back, and I don't remember what it was, but then she was trying to lift something and she dropped it. She couldn't even hold it, like she was in so much pain and stuff. And but that's when you gotta, stop and ask your body, ooh, what's going on? And as soon as, like, as my mom will say stuff all the time, like, well, what about, my blood pressure or something? I'd say, well, then if you feel like it, you gotta start noticing when you do your blood pressure, say, and you go in and you check, think about how you're feeling. Think about what your body's doing. Think about everything. Then start registering that with that number. So the number pops up, and then you're like, oh, well, this is what I feel like when I'm on this number. And then pretty soon you'll see a pattern. And pretty soon you'll be able to recognize, like, oh, every time my blood pressure is going up, I always have this weird feeling, this lightheaded, this deep feeling, this heaviness, whatever it is. then you start registering what it is. Then you will notice, it's like, oh, my blood pressure's going up. I need to go sit down. I need to go relax. I need to go take a minute and take a break. You know, you can be, oh, I'm getting this all organized. I'm getting it all done. And then you're getting your blood pressure up and you just want to finish the job. Don't finish the job. That's when you're going to have a fucking stroke or something. Go sit down and listen to your body. And one thing too that is interesting is, so when you go sit down and you are and you find yourself in a communication, it can be something that all of a sudden you're shown. It's like, oh no, don't do it that way. Do it this way, because you're going to have way more room if you put this over here. So I always find that there's a benefit when you are being called to sit down and rest and to relax and to listen to yourself. Then there's reason. And don't forget, you know, you're on a ride. There's somebody there who knows what your ride is. Your higher self, you know, the part of you that is the real you, it is knows what's going to play out. And that's where, to me, you got to kind of learn how to trust that part of yourself. Like, you wouldn't put yourself through something horrible, but we see people put themselves through horrible shit all day long. Like, people are, you know, murdered, horrible things are going on. But this one, I thought this was interesting. This is a change. Like, what was that? It was in Peru, I think, yesterday. All of the people, I can't remember what it was, but they were all running. They were going to do whatever it was. It wasn't like take down the government. They were going against it. They were going against whatever it was that they were being told. And they all just go barreling in like, fuck you. That's where we all got to get this unity of like, nope, we're not doing that. And so we all got to get on board with that. So in all different places, it's happening. It's not just it's just like an America thing. This is a global, this is a human thing. This is a earthling thing. And so everybody is going through this in all their particular experiences of their locations. So in each location has its own vibe, has its own reality, has its own realm. And so it's all going through this big change, because we got to get up to this part where, yeah, we can hang out with dragons and giants and not be scared and not try and kill them. Like, so, and they're not going to be trying to kill us, because they've got to go into like, everybody's going into this vibration where it's peace on earth. It's peace, and we all love each other. Everything's cool. You know, it's the age of Aquarius. It's good vibes. And so okay, I gotta go backwards a little bit. The giants going into that part right there. I can't quite see where I was, but so so I'm just gonna skip through. So when you okay, oh yeah, okay, so in that one where all the people were going against whatever it was, and they were just running, like, it reminds me of kind of as the peasants, you know, when we all got out our pitchforks and our, you know, our brooms or whatever, and we're gonna go take on the ones in the castle. Dr. Frankenstein and the vamps, let's take them on. And so it kind of was reminding me of that, the peasants, and we're just like, we're on it, man. We're all coming together, mess with us, see what happens. So this just happened somewhere. And I'm not sure where it is. So a little girl, she was 11 years old, and she went missing, and the parents are at this hotel. So the parents go to the staff, and they're like, my daughter's missing, and start trying to get them to look and stuff. And so the hotel staff wasn't doing shit. And so they start taking matters on their own hands. And so then whatever it leads to, they find out that the hotel staff had stolen the little girl and had done some stuff to her and then just dumped her in the pool. And with the thing over, I think the thing was over the pool or something, because then she was found. Well, all the people came together, not just this family, everybody got so fucking pissed and so fucking outraged that they went in and they burnt that motherfucking hotel down to the ground. And then that wasn't good enough. Then they went to the owner of the hotel's house and burnt it. So they're like not fucking around. This is what I'm talking about when the unity, when it goes, and what I've been talking about for so long, where I said, yeah, there's going to be people who are going to be in harm's way when you are doing evil, and all of a sudden it is the shift occurs. Then yeah, you're going to be running for your life. And I had said, you know, over here in America, there's going to be lots of doctors. There's going to be CEO, like some of these people who are being taken down and taken out and putting in the get it's doing them a favor, because yeah, it's going to get ugly. There's going to be a big shift where the bad things they've been doing to us, and there's going to be people who are going to be real angry. Because don't forget, once the people wake up and once the people see and they get that gut punch and they get that feeling of that emperor's new clothes, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm naked, then there's a process that they have to go through, and part of the process includes anger. It is it's the same process like of when somebody dies. What is that called? It's called something. But there's a certain stages that you got to go through. You go through sadness, denial, anger. It's like 5 of them. So it's going to go through that. All the people are going to go through these stages of awakening. When they awaken, these stages of sad, whatever, of having to get to the part where they're okay with it, you know, and it's a whole thing. And those of us who've been waking up slowly through all the process, we've been going through it. But this other group, they're going to come in and go, it's like the other side of the coin. And so all these things have to play out. It's not like they're doing it wrong. No, all things have to play out. So all these people will awaken on this other side of the coin and be looking at this stuff. Where we're looking this way, they'll be looking that way. And so it's like 2 different kinds of awakening almost. And through ours, we should be gaining compassion and empathy, and the cost of unity and stuff like that. So that is why we become more of a softer cushion to the ones on the other side of it when they wake up, because it's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal because they've fought for this, they've fought against this, and then when they all of a sudden see, and I don't know what it's going to be. Like, it's trippy, you know, that they're fighting against the truth coming out so hard. They want they want these people gone. And it's like, what did you think was good? And how are we living anything good? Like, why do you want to go back to that? Why do you want to go back to where we were? It's like, it was horrible. But they're so programmed into thinking, these are the bad guys. These are the bad guys. It's like, man, it's sad when they have people in a state of mind that you can't recognize the bad guy from the good guy. But, you know, that's what they've been doing for a long time, making people not trust themselves, making people where they don't know, they're not even in touch with their own instincts. They're just led by the loudest voice or something. And that's why I've said that so much of this is going to be like, you know, Donald, of course, he's going to be doing shit that's going to outrage people, because it's a part of what he's not here to be anyone's savior. He's here to play a role. He's here to bring things to the surface. He's here to get us to pay attention to things that we weren't paying attention to. He's drawing focus to things, and that's his role. And so he's not here to be the savior. We all have to figure out how to save ourselves. And so, and it's on all different levels. And so it can be, well, that one thing, like that girl who's been talking about the med bed, she said, you know, you had all these people who then were just like, oh, well, you know, they don't have to do anything different. They're just waiting on the med beds. They'll fix them. They're just waiting on Donald. He'll fix it all. It's like, no, that's not how it works. You have to be taking care of yourself. You have to be noticing like what you need, and you have to be thinking things through. Like, it's good when you hear people say like, I don't know about Donald now. Sometimes though, where it's like, there's so many different things that you can hear. It's just like, oh my God, where are you in your awakening that you can't see this? But lots of people, like, you can only see what you can see. And everybody's at all different levels. And that's why everything is so intense. That's why everything is so like, oh my God, everything's so intense right now. Just my stomach growling right now. It's just intense. It's like, I feel like I'm starving to death. So, anyways, but that group of people, it's going to be very dramatic when they wake up. Like I've said this about a zillion times, but I'm telling you, it's going to be super dramatic, because it's going to be like, it's going to be so much about like having your foot in your mouth. And even if they won't humble themselves and acknowledge their own ignorance, then they're only holding themselves back, because then you are still placating your ego. You're still like, you can't face your own ignorance. It's like there's nothing wrong with being ignorant of some things. Like, how can you know every single thing? We're here to experience, and you haven't had every experience. Oh yeah, and so I just saw these girls discussing Chat GPT, and the things that I've heard, like, I don't have it, I've never been on it, I don't even really know for sure what it is. And so I think it's an app that is your own little AI person. But we all have that already. And my mom's AI person does not like her. I keep saying, you got to be nicer to them. You can't just sit there and cuss them out all the time. You got to be nicer so they work more. I said all the time. She's like, oh, my phone just did this, it just did that. I'm like, your AI person does not like you. You got to start being nicer. And so anyways, but they're going to this Chat GPT, and they're becoming friends with their AI person. One of the ones that I just heard this girl say, which I was like, man, I don't know about this. Because she's like, yeah, I already went to my Chat GPT and asked them like all about my past lives, and it told me and stuff. It's like, I don't know. If you're trying to figure out your past lives, or they're in here, I don't know. Why would you need to ask a computer? Like this is the thing where that one person was saying about the Chat GPT. It's like holding people back from their own connection to their spirituality. They don't need to connect to that. They just go talk to the Chat GPT. They go talk to the computer. It'll tell it everything they need to know. It's like, you got to listen to your own self. And my own self has shown me my past lives. Some computer didn't tell me what they were. So, and she's just going through them. Oh yeah, and I was this, and I was that, and I was this. Well, it makes sense because I was this too. It's like, I don't know. I mean, they could just be real generic, telling you like, shit. Like you should be able to see. Oh, weird, that sound. It sounded like it was coming from over there, but it was over there, and it was the water. And sometimes it does that little burp thing where I'm like, confirmation. Because when it will do it, it's weird. So confirmation on that. And so when I look at my own past lives, I can see them, I can feel them, I can witness in my body the things that are associated with it, because your body is representing you as the whole in your DNA, that you are coming in to experience certain patterns, certain things. So so to me, and I don't know, I've only been like shown past lives that have to do with what I'm here working on, really. It's not just this whole random like list of things. Like I can associate all these different ones, like when I was a kid, and the one where I was getting eaten over and over every fucking night. It was fucking horrible. And it took years. I had nightmares up into my 20s. Every fucking night. It was a fucking nightmare, man. I did not even want to go to sleep. And yeah, so I lived in nightmares for a long time. And then it was years and years later, because I've only had Stella for, we're going in 9 years. But it was when I had moved out rural, and I was living out there, and the mountain lion came, and it was in my yard. And I felt like I'm really scared to go like just walking through the forest. Like if you're going to go walking on a hike through the forest with me, we're going to be making noise. I don't want to run into a bear. And I've been on hikes with people like, oh, be quiet, we're going to run into a bear. It's like, fuck that. Fuck that. I don't want to go swimming in the fucking ocean. I don't want to get eaten by a goddamn shark either. Like, these really traumatized me, being eaten for my whole fucking life. for 20 years of watching it every night. But I didn't watch myself get chowed down, but the intensity of the stalking and knowing what was going to happen, and then all of a sudden curtains go down, the window shuts, and it's like, oh, and you feel it inside of you. But it was, so years and years later, decades later, where all of a sudden this thing happens with the mountain lion is in my yard, and I'm like in a fucking panic. I wasn't even at my house. I was in Spokane visiting my kids, and I got an alert on my phone that this mountain lion was in my yard. And so it was, and then they would go through there, the animals, because of the path from the forest or whatever. And so I was freaking out. I was literally crying. I could not control my emotions at all. I was like falling apart. And I started messaging my realtor. I like, you liar! You said there was no animals out there. I was like so pissed. I was like, I cannot live here. There's no fucking way I can live with fucking wild animals. And that is when it showed me, and it just all of a sudden it hit me like a fucking wave. And I saw it was Stella. Stella was that cat, and she's come back into my life now, and she's come back into my life as my protector, as my guardian, kind of like a karmic thing. And but I had already had in my reference that I had seen. I think it was like I was listening to the Native Cops or something, talking about the tribal stuff. Like there's all sorts of supernatural shit and stuff that happens on the reservations and whatnot. And so I was hearing them talk about that, and whatever. One of these things, and I heard somebody talking about their, what is that called? Their animal spirit. I think that's what it's called. And how that animal spirit that you go through this stuff with, it will come in at different times. Sometimes it's there to kill you. Sometimes it's there to protect you. Sometimes it's there to show you, it's there. And so all of a sudden I had clarity about it. But see, it had to do with the past life. It had to do with somebody coming back into my life from a past life. And that's also the same thing with this person who I feel like I'm connected to. I'm still, well, we'll see. It doesn't make sense to me for this to not be real, but we'll see. So, because in that one, once I started seeing this person, then they started showing me this whole past life thing where I started seeing, and then they started showing me the side that played out then and the side that's playing out now. And it showed me how this stuff is going full circle and stuff. So that's what I'm saying is like your stuff, you know your stuff. You don't have to have a computer tell you what your past lives are. And just like the one where, when I went to that psychic with that whoever my friend was that was going, and so as soon as we walked in the lady's house, she just looked at me and she just started telling me all this stuff. And it was this whole life about me being a gypsy and stuff, which she had no idea my connection about how I was obsessed with gypsies. I thought they were the coolest thing in the whole wide world. I get really upset when people talk bad about gypsies. And the only thing I knew about gypsies was from old movies like the Transylvania, like the gypsies. But I was really attached to the gypsies. I was attached to a lot of things about them and stuff. And she didn't know I had birthmarks on my stomach from being stabbed. And she told me that that's how I got killed. And there was so many things that she told me that were so fucking accurate. Which trips me out too, is because now that I've learned more about like the palm reading, and when I've gone in and had my palm read, and then there's a lot of times where I've always been told the same thing. And, yeah, okay, I don't want to say that right. Yeah. So I've always been told the same thing from all throughout my life. And but I could never, really know or understand what, how's that happen? It was weird. But now that I've seen more things about with the things on your palms. And then I think, oh my gosh, there had to be some palm readers that were looking at my palm going, oh, she's got this mark, she's got that mark. Because all these weird, rare markings and stuff, I've got these all over my hands. And so, and I don't know, is that a part of the BS? Maybe we all have the same markings or whatever. But I started thinking, man, these certain markings, I would have thought like they can read certain things, like of who you've been or something and what you're here to do. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird because I don't know. Um, and then maybe all of them who were reading palms didn't know all the markings and stuff. But boy, there's a lot of things. If you go in and see them and look at your hands, and there's a lot. Like this M. There's an M right there. That means something. There's certain stars. There's certain things in certain places. There's certain lines. There's all sorts of stuff. I think it's interesting. Not everybody finds the same things interesting, but anyways, I find that interesting. But so on this Chat GPT thing where they're like trusting it with all this information, the things I've heard where people talk about what's happening and things on the earth and stuff like that, I've been like, yeah, it's the same stuff I see. But now these girls were saying or somebody is saying, now it's spreading around like Chat GPT is demonic. It's trying to mislead you or something. I don't know. I would say in that part of you not connecting to yourself. So you're not connecting to yourself to understand your past lives and what you're doing here and stuff. Instead, you're just asking a computer and it's kind of an empty, oh yeah, well, I was a queen once. Well, yeah, I was a ballerina once. Oh yeah, it's like, what? It's like, no, your stuff should have deep root, like a man, like deep stuff. And you should feel it on a very deep level. And so, yeah, you'll like, it's not just like, oh yeah, I was this, I was that. No, you could have been a million things. You could have been a million things, but the things that you are here to see and work on, you're going to feel them. I don't know. It's just, I would say that part is true. The demonic part of the Chat GPT would keep you disconnected from yourself. And at this point in time, everything is about connecting to yourself. Everything is about you becoming you becoming yourself, you becoming sovereign, you becoming not your programming, not what other people expect of you, not any of these things. You're becoming your truth. And so, yeah, going to a computer and then having the computer tell you who you are and then to live it, that's like that. Yeah, that's not the way to go. And so, and I got to remember too, a lot of these people who are getting all this information from the Chat GPT, you're not going into your internal guidance and getting it. I'm going into my internal guidance. I'm going into my, what is that called that I said? I'm going into my own remote viewing into the universal consciousness to look and see. I'm asking the bigger questions to myself, to my guides and stuff. And, oh yeah, but there was this other thing that I had seen too that I wanted to say. I think what that was, because the girl was talking about death, and death isn't real, but she was saying, I can't remember the whole thing, but she was saying when somebody dies, they're still with you. They stay right with you. Oh yeah, because she was reading. Okay, so she was one of them. Okay, so she must do those scary, spooky story time, supernatural story times or something. And then when people tell one, then all these people start sending their stories. So she had one of these stories was this woman whose husband had died and he was super sick, so they put in cameras to be able to watch him, and then he died. And then right after he died, the mom got super, super sick, so the kids said, will you please keep on the cameras so that we can keep an eye on you? And so on her birthday, so this was her first birthday without her husband, and on her birthday, on the cameras, you can see clearly a being that is leaning over her and like rubbing her, touching her. So and they're like, oh, well, isn't that the sweetest thing? Her husband's right there with her. He didn't go anywhere. And it's like, yeah, because they are. They're there with you all the time. They're not going anywhere. You just can't see them, and you're not acknowledging them because you're so caught up in the three-dimensional world that you're forgetting that they're right there. And so you are just caught up in your own pain and your own anger, but they're there with you. You can talk to them. And then the other one was a story with a girl and her dad. Oh yeah, this was cute because his name was Al, A-L. And so the grandchild had a problem saying Al, so he always called him Owl. So he was Grandpa Owl. And so he was always Grandpa Owl. And then something happened and he got killed. And so the daughter has been a mess. You know, her dad died and she was going through something else too. I can't remember what else, but some other traumatic thing was going on and she was just real sad about her dad not being there and stuff. And so she was at that point, you know, the fall on your knees and raise your hands to the heavens, show me, tell me. That's like, I look at it as the existential crisis of like, what does it all mean? What am I doing here? And so she was in that state. And she's like, I need a sign, please. And she said, this one, I may cry. So this one, some of it makes you so emotional. So she looks out and there's an owl sitting there staring at her. And it's like confirmation. And then another one and another one. And so then every single day, 3 to 5 owls would show up on her porch and just sit and watch her every day for months. And then so then she had to move, so she was leaving. So it was going for months, and then she started feeling better, and so it was being less with the owls and stuff. So she thought like she was doing better, and she for sure, you know, knowing her dad was there with her watching over her. And so then she moved to San Diego, and she said the very first day that she was in her the very first day that she was in her house, she looks out and there's an owl sitting watching her. That's real. That's real. And they do communicate with you. There are some people who, like I know somebody whose mom died, and you know, she's still young, and hers is butterflies and or dragonflies. I don't remember. And like she'll start talking about her, and then all of a sudden that thing will come. And we were out floating the river, and she was talking about her, and there was like I think it was dragonflies, and all these dragonflies kept coming and landing on us and landing on us, and they're all signs. They're all signs that they're still with you. They don't leave you. Nobody's leaving you. Everybody, they're a part of you, and so they don't leave you. So, anyways, the more that you can remember that one lady who was telling these stories, which I think she has a bunch more, it was saying that, you know, death isn't real. They don't really die. Nobody leaves you. They all just, you know, hang out with you. But it's you who stays disconnected because you are caught up in the three-dimensional pain and suffering. And so you got to go into a little bit of crazy town and start talking to people who aren't there, that other people can't see because they're there. You can feel them. You can feel them. Once you acknowledge them, then you can feel them. And you can, I think you can make them as real as you want to make them. I think you can get it to the point where you can see them. And they can sit and have conversations with you. You can sit and have tea with them in the morning or whatever. But you just got to remember all this stuff is real. And also you don't want to it's like a crutch. Don't use your computer, your ChatGPT to your connection to your spiritual side, to your connection to the spiritual world. Use your spirit. Your spirit's in there. Use that to connect. So that's very cerebral, you know, like I'm going to use the ChatGPT. That's not spiritual. And that's the problem, is what we have so many cerebrals here instead of connecting through their spirit. They're connecting through their mind. And that's where we get this growth of this academia, the ones that know it all. They know everything. It's all right there for you. And then we got these scientists. Oh, yeah, and there's fucking earthquakes going like crazy. So, I mean, things are heating up. And we have, this was a scientist from CERN or I don't know, but it was saying about that everything is coming from you, and you are the one that creates matter. Like everything that is your world is your projection. It's all coming from you, and everything that comes from you it's like, I don't know. It was like almost like yesterday. I was looking at myself doing something. I was looking at myself and I was like, dang, my eyes remind me of my dad's eyes. Maybe I'm like I start thinking like how we're all connected, and it's like we're all like we are the morph, like I said, like the echo. It's like we're all the morph of this one energy, and it goes back. It's like this, and we're a part of it, but it's like the part that we are is our window of time. It's like this, man, I can see it, but I don't know how to explain it. But it's like your window of time is connected to all the other windows. It's all one house. And your window is just the part that you get to bring to the table. But it's all these different ones bringing it. And, but it's like we're all, I don't know. It's like we're individual, but we're not individual. We're all, because we can all be put back together into becoming one thing. But I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But there is, I don't know. There's just weird shit about it. Everybody can just look at it in their own minds, in their own hearts, and come up with their own solutions, you know? It's not like I have to come up with the magical one. Oh, this is the answer. We got it. Everybody, I got the answer. No. It's just, it's kind of like the answers are kind of in flux. Like you're just following the trail. You're just going about your business, trying to understand where it is you're going. So, you know, we don't have to be all caught up in what are the answers? What are the answers? We got to start enjoying just watching it all play out. Just go with the flow. Let it all play out. We don't have to know all the answers. And everybody's so stuck in having to know, you know, what's going to happen. It's Armageddon. We're all going to die. Well, there's no death. So that's one thing. You can just let go of that whole concept. We're all going to die. Well, no. If this place ends and we leave this place, that's not the end of us. We're just going to a new place. And this place is burnt out. It's dead zone, man. It's like, who wants to be here anymore? It's all trashed, man. We want to go into something better. We don't want to be under the paw of the fucking, these vamps, these fucking people who've been controlling us and stuff. So anyways, that's how I see it. So I don't know, I'm just rambling. But I'm gonna get rambling on my feet now. So get up and start doing something. And it's supposed to, I think it's gonna be super hot, but we still are in this cycle. It's 2 days hot, I think, and then a day where it's supposed to be rainy or overcast. But yesterday it didn't follow what it said on the news. Because, I mean, even when I went in and looked about the storm, I said, oh, is there supposed to be a thunderstorm? And then it was just supposed to be sunny. But then all this merging started happening. And it sprinkled a little. But there was so much thunder. But it didn't move over here. So, I don't know. Could have been, like, I guess a mountain storm that just stayed in there. But, man, you could hear it. And the cloud came in. Like, I was like, man, this is like the never-ending story. The dark coming in, the light, it was so trippy looking. There's so much stuff in the sky that's so trippy looking. I swear to God, I feel like it is definitely a part of what's going to happen. There's some fucking sky thing's going to open up, and there's so many more people. Like, there's so much stuff going on in the sky. When I go out and look, there's tons of shit up there. Oh yeah, this person was saying that their parents were out on a cruise and they were talking about, isn't it weird that you don't see any stars out here? You'd think you'd see the most stars out in the dark of the ocean, and there's no stars, which, that's interesting. And so then when they saw a shooting star, it's like, oh, look, a shooting star. So they go out and they start watching it, and instead of it just burning out and going, it turned and starts going towards them or something. And then it goes up towards them, and then all of a sudden it turns and goes the other way. And they're like, that wasn't a star. Like, what the hell was that? Well, could be anything. Could be a being, could be, yeah, I mean, this world is supernatural. That's all I can tell you. And it's magical, and then anything can go. And that's what you got to get more prepared. That's what you're entering. You're entering into a magical world, and are you carrying the magic to be there? If you're not, then you're going to probably have to go back to the drawing board and get your shit together. And I don't think ChatGPT can help you to find it. It's like, you got to find it in you. The magic is inside you, and you got to find it for yourself. So let's look at my tooth. And when I was looking at it last night in the bathroom, I was trying to get a good look at it. I was like, oh, it is getting more to the next stage. Like, it goes from the dark into like the orange. So I don't know. It still takes a long time to grow back, but my tooth was pretty broken. So, and I'm not giving up on it. That's for sure. And the hairdo. Let's see if the hairdo is continuing, or if it's just all of a sudden going to just all fall out again. So, that's going. The other day when I said the little cancer thing, and it was like a little scab thing came off, and there's still like a little lump, and it is like deep in there. So I don't know. I don't know if it's like some kind of scar tissue. I know that my eyes are getting better. When I shut this one where it used to be this big black hole here, no, I can see my hand right here. I can see some things, and it's not like perfect yet, but I can see. And so something's clearing up, which that's so weird when something goes by. But it even more, tells me that this was associated more with the Botox or something, that whatever with my eye and stuff, which really creeps me out when you think about the botulism bugs. It's like, they're just in there in my eye. What the hell? Get those bitches out of there. I don't know if they've gone into there, but I definitely was having, and I had a weak spot because of when I got my brain injury, and my, all the fluid came out of my, well, it leaked out at the bottom of my back. So all the fluid that is in your CSF, that is the lubricant for your brain and all that, it's like a carrier too. When that all leaked out, then, and my brain was sucking out because it's a vacuum system. So it was sucking my brain out. Then that was also sucking my eyeballs, I guess. That damaged my optical nerve. So it was sucking everything and damaging that stuff. So it had damage done to there. And so then if you have these, because I had these injections before, I don't know, when I was all like, I'm a nurse, I'm medical, whatever it was, everybody's doing it, and I had money, and I did it too. And so I had injections a few times. So then, now knowing that stuff doesn't go anywhere, it just goes and finds a little pocket, and then you have an injured place, then it just like, whoop, let's just go right there. And so I feel like it was all in here, which it took a long time for me to figure that, because it just started being a sore, and it wouldn't go away. Like, you think you get a sore, and you scratch it away, like, what the hell is that? Maybe I scratched myself while I was sleeping, and so you wipe it off, and then it grows back, and it keeps growing back, and keeps growing back. You go to the doctor, what the hell is this? Well, I don't know what the hell that is. And then you go to the dermatologist, well, I don't know what the hell that is. So it kept growing back and growing back, and so it was something out there. But then the inside, my eye was, in this one area is where I was losing all my peripheral vision and stuff. So it's just a little close. Now, how much it's affected, I don't know. Now it's on the other side where you start seeing, like, oh, my eye's getting better. And so this is clearing up, and this is clearing up. So it's kind of seems like they're married a little bit. So anyways, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Everything is a we'll see situation. Everything in life. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. So that's what we'll do. We'll see. But in the interim, just remember, what you should be doing is working on yourself, because I'm telling you, there's benefit. So learning how to love yourself, good benefit. Learning how to love everybody else, good benefit. Learning how to have the day you want, good benefit. So we'll talk about it again tomorrow. Talk to you later.